Didn't I tell you hoes not to trust Silvio?
Ooh, I'm black and I'm proud. I'm black, they can't keep me down. I'm black and black with a smile. A black beam of the man.
I have a lot to say, so let's just get right into it. Episode 6 of season 2 of Dear White People. The focus, Lionel. So, he was walking with Wesley and they were talking about whatever, what he wants with his Nobel Peace Prize, what he wants. He was like, that's not really me. And then he was like, oh, I gotta go to class. And he was like, see ya. And that was a whole tax conversation. I thought they was like, they're together in real life. Got my fucking neck. But, after that, fucking bananas with the word bitch was on Sam's fucking, dorm. And I was like, this same shit happened in American University. Oh, hell no. That was disgusting. Oh my gosh. And it makes me so upset because, like I said, I know who the fuck alt IVW is. But, like, the fact he doesn't realize that he's inciting this bullshit. I feel so bad for Sam. She don't need to go to this shit. And then so, later on, well, not too much later on, but the Independent gets back together. And Lionel goes to his room and he shows like he converted his room. He converted his room into a workspace. And Brooke is invited. And he was like, "Fuck, Brooke is here." And I was like, "Fuck, Brooke is here." At first. And then Silvio, see, I knew Silvio dismissed the idea of searching up who OIVW is and who's we didn't start the fire. What the fuck that was? He didn't want to. He didn't want to know about that. He wanted to know about the secret societies. Which, by the way, even though Silvio used the same eye for the IVW thing, he didn't have the same thing. He wasn't connected to the secret societies, unless he was, and he just, again, a reason why you want to cover it. But I was like, that's sus of you at first. But and before he left, he said, "Oh, I gotta go. I have a poli-sci professor to fuck. To learn from." And I was like, "You nasty." Oh yeah, I'm gonna be using that a lot this fucking episode. And then after this, an interesting side of Brooke opened up, which, by the way, her name is Courtney Sauls. Say her name. She was pretty good this episode. I did not give a fuck about Brooke before, but I really like Brooke. And now I want her episode centered around her. But then I realized, no, I really don't. I want one of Kelsey still, though. And Al and Rashid. And another one of Joelle. But, I thought it was really interesting how she was like, well, I still don't like you, but your expose on the Hancocks, mildly impressive. She's pretentious and condescending, but at least she's opening up. And then she was like, let's meet up together at 8. And so it's 8, but earlier he gets a "what are you doing" text by Wesley. They're actually together this time. No text bullshit. And he has to leave early because, what's her face? Well, not leave early, but he has to leave earlier than he wants because Brooke is like, "Hey, it's 8. Where are you at?" And then he questioned, like, how serious it was, and that made him want to go. He was like, "Oh, I don't have to go." And he was like, "Oh, I have to go to prove her wrong." And then so he goes meet her up. And I'm sitting like, wow, if you manage your time, man. If you manage your time better, you could be doing this and you could have been with Wesley. But tragic. And the stupid idea of like, oh, let's look at the cutout magazines and see who sent the thing. And I was like, isn't this shit like 2 weeks ago? If this shit if this shit happened like 2 weeks ago, went to recycling, already take the damn things. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. But they found the thing, and it led them to Rashid. And I was like, that doesn't sound like Rashid. I don't think Rashid would do it. But apparently, Al was in there. And he was looking a little guilty. He was sweating. And he took the dog, which makes sense. He just used racism to put his get his name away from himself, because you know the real Al wouldn't do that, but this isn't Al. It's just some troll, and he really likes the dog. But then they convince him to get rid of, to get the dog back. But then the dog gets out of hand, literally out of his hand, and now went through the window. They don't know where the dog's at, but they at least know where Kelsey's dog was, because the whole reason of that was they thought the person who was all IVW was the dog napper, but sadly that wasn't the case. And by the way, apparently Brooke and motherfucking Al have some relations going on, because she was like, a dick pic wouldn't hurt. And she was like, yeah, but was you disappointed? She was like, I didn't say that. It wasn't the bad. And she basically saying that the size wasn't that bad. And I was like, you're nasty. So they're at somewhere. And basically the two, Brooke and Lionel, they what's it called? They start bonding over each other. Well, not over each other, but they start bonding together. And they start reconciling over their issues. She's like, why do you not like me? From the jump, you never liked me. And then she said, well, I guess I just like being the only one. And I didn't really like that. Because she thought he didn't like her because, he's jealous of her accolades and her success. But that's not really the case. It's just that she is a little annoying with how she's condescending and takes his work when he wants to make it his own work. So I'm glad that they talked it out. But she, of course, with herself was like, oh, even my intellectual self fell victim to the crabs of the barrel trap. I was like, okay, girl, sit down. And she was like, and he was like, you know what, let's, oh, no. Lionel's like, oh, maybe it's Kurt. So they go and try to investigate if Kurt did it. She was like, oh, yeah, let's go fuck this white boy. And she was like, you mean fucked him up? And I was like, maybe that too. And I was like, you're nasty. Brooke is doing too damn much this episode. And then so Kurt said it wasn't him, especially since there was a text that, a tweet by the guy while Kurt was not on his phone. He's like, you need to check my computer. Search, because they said it could have been like a scheduled tweet. So they went on the, Brooke, she went on there like the speed of light. She's like, well, you don't have that as your search history, but you have a rather graphic search history. It's filthy, but I like it. And I was like, you're nasty! Brooke! She doing too damn much. I can't with her. And then, so Lionel's upset because the shit is not working well for him. He keeps blowing off 2 dates, and his ass is just not the story with the secret societies or who the fuck IVW is. It's not working, and he feels stressed. He's like, we need to clear our minds. And so homegirl starts stripping, and I was like, you're wild. You know this nigga gay. No, she doesn't. Homegirl, she does, but she, okay, first of all, it was a little hot when I was watching this shit, because she started stripping that shit. She lowered her goddamn voice. She was like, gay, straight, we all know sexuality is a spectrum. And I was like, girl, are we legal? Brooke can catch the oh my gosh. I don't think if you told me last year that Brooke is sexy as shit, I would have been like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Oh, big shit. But still, you're nasty. Anyway, so they try to figure out, well, let's just hack the account and figure out who it is by looking up their IP address. But, it was dumb because he was like, oh, I'm not your day ex mock negro. And then homegirl was like, I would have said day ex hockey nut. And I was like, that's good. That's good. She does wordplay too? Okay. Yep. Courtney Sauls. You the MVP this episode. I love her. And then so basically at the end, and then after that, so they're trying to wait for the password thing to crack. So while they're doing that, Lionel and Troy play some video games. And Lionel doesn't know how to smoke weed. Terrible, terrible. I mean, I can't get mad at him. I don't know how to smoke weed either. But Troy is like, what, you've been having problems? Like, yeah, this thing isn't going well, and I'm going off 2 dates. And this bitch was like, oh, who, with Samson? I was like, Samson? Who the fuck is Samson? He was like, who's that? And he said, you know, that angry gay guy that's like, oh, no, girl. Oh, take off your clothes, girl. No, put it back. I mean, put on your clothes, girl. Take off your clothes, girl. And I was like, shut the fuck up. It's like, you mean Silvio? Then he did the same thing. He was like, oh, it's Wilson. No, it's Wesley. That was too much for me. And then they start talking about his dreams. It's like, well, what would you be doing if you didn't have to do anything? What would you be doing right now? And Lionel's like, writing. I love to write. It's I just love to tell stories and all that type of stuff. And I was like, same nigga, but like you a journalist, not like a novelist or a screenwriter like me slash director. Let me stop. I haven't done anything official. But we both have like similar dreams, but I respect that. Go ahead, Lionel. Go ahead. And so this is when I really was on my Silvio shit. Because they tried to hack it. Because he was like, oh, I got the password, guys. But then it didn't work. He got like a firewall. And then he instantly sent out a tweet out IVW. And it was like, cute. Whoever did that failed. Now I have to put him another encryption lock or whatever. And I was like, who starts sentences off of cute? I mean, there's other people like Silvio. But are they relevant to the show? So after this, one of the most awkward ass scenes of sex come up. Oh my gosh. He starts complaining about all like he goes to Wesley's dorm, I think. And then he's like, oh, things aren't going too well with the piece and everything. I don't really like it. And then he was like, well, let's talk about something else. And he get all close. And I was like, okay, y'all about to do some gay shit. Y'all about to do some gay shit. And so the gay shit starts off with, what's his face getting on the bed. And he like, Wesley, he started, takes off his shirt. But his fucking shirt gets stuck in his head. And he was like, can you help me out? I was like, okay. Tragic. And then so after that, Lionel's like, well, I guess I gotta take my shirt off. Hold up. There's a song for this. She wanna take her skirt off. Be my guest, I have to take my shirt off and show my chest. And we sipping on that Murdoch. And you know what's next? Okay, I fucked up some of the lyrics, but you know what the fuck I mean. Damn, I'm mad at myself. Anyway, he did that shit. And this bitch Wesley was like, damn, Gina. That shit was so cringy. That was equally as cringy as Silvio's. Call him with fucking Tyrone. I was like, Silvio and Wesley, shut your asses up. Shut your asses up. And then after that, Lionel tries to like fucking crawl up to fucking Wesley. And the bitch falls. And he was like, well, since I'm already down here. And he starts giving head. This bitch, he was like, how was that? And then this bitch was like, you know, like in Star Wars with the sandpit monster. Yikes! That's tragic. But anyway, they had like a really awkward sex. And the awkward sex scene ends off with them like kissing each other. That was too awkward of a scene. I mean, I would expected that from Lionel, but why are they both that was a little hard to watch. Oh my gosh. But anyway, after that really awkward gay ass, terrible ass, I don't know how to have sex ass scene, it ends off with him talking to Silvio. And Silvio is basically talking, he was like, hey, oh yeah, because Silvio's like, oh, you got time? I have an idea. Can we have a meeting? And so he was like, yeah, I have an idea, and you rejected both of them. And then he was like, those aren't interesting. And then so he said, oh, even if you have, and then he's like, well, I like, but he appreciated his ambition and energy. He was like, wow, you must have gotten some sex. That's why you're feeling like that. I mean, you must have had sex, gotten sex. What the fuck? And then what bothered me is he was like, well, you couldn't even see a bad story, even if it was tossing your salad, which I had to look up. Mad I did. And then, which makes this next lines make sense. He was like, well, I couldn't even see it anyway because it was behind me. This bitch was like, not the way I do it. I was like, you're nasty! But then, it goes back to the last episode, episode 6, and motherfucking Reggie punches Trevor. And then Silvio laughs, he starts typing away. And then he gets, Lionel gets like a message from IVW. But then he realized, wow, that's real quick. Who would have, they must have been right here. And he looks around. Then he looks at the mirror, and I'm sitting here, like, this mirror was here the entire time, and you never saw it. And he was like, oh my gosh, he's IVW. And then so he starts asking questions. And first of all, I just want to say, bitch, you can't call Sam a half-breed bitch if you're a half-breed bitch yourself, you Mexican Italian piece of shit. Don't you try Sam like that. Don't you fucking try Sam like that. Anyway. He was bothered with like the leftist identity politics, which again was stupid because he definitely made like identity jokes last season. And then he was like, well, I do this for the views, but I also feel like I give people a voice. Like, people shouldn't have to be shouldn't have to hide behind anonymous character. We should be able to say whatever we want. I'm like, okay, but first of all, you're trolling. Okay, you're not asking for discussion because you are just trolling and you're bullying. So I don't really care too much about what you have to say about how the left is intolerant because, bitch, you're intolerant right now. And you're emboldening bitches to do that dumb shit like they did to Sam. So I really don't want to hear it. And you spread those fucking lies. So you may sound like, oh, I'm a conservative and my conservative voice is being suppressed. But no, you just want fucking attention. You fake ass Italian. Oh, no. You fake ass burrito ass, not pastrami looking ass. You probably don't get no pastrami looking ass, bitch. I fucking hate Silvio so goddamn much. I hope by the end of the season, motherfucking, oh my gosh, what's his name? Lionel. I hope he starts his own news company and he fucking shades the shit out of Silvio, so Silvio does not get that opportunity to be part of the fucking new independent. Oh, Brooke gotta be on it though, because Brooke's my girl. Joelle used to be my girl. Joelle, you still my girl, but Brooke, you really my girl. Yeah. But anyway, that was my thoughts on this episode. What do y'all think? It was pretty nasty, this episode. There was actual sex and a lot of sex jokes, but it wasn't that bad. Watching gay sex was, you know, a little weird, but they didn't do anything crazy. I think they purposely made it awkward so bitches like me wouldn't be too disgusted by it. But oh well. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all whenever.
You black and you love it, put your hands up. If you black and in public, put your hands up. If you black and you proud and not giving a